All right, and welcome to another edition of The Incredible Hoax. I am Chris,
I'm Mark.
and we are The Incredible Hoax. We always salute at the end, and I just salute at the beginning. Now I feel like it's all backwards. So I was just talking backwards, then I will just.
I usually don't do the show with a cough drop in my mouth either, so
Well, that's okay.
we're going to new places today.
Seasonal allergies and the things the viewers at home will understand. Okay, so politics is our discussion today. No, I'm just kidding. We just had a big conversation about how we don't want to talk politics, but it took like an hour to talk about not talking about politics.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm
But
back.
in a semi-political, it's the segue into that.
Okay.
There is one thing in movies. We're mostly about movies and football for the most part. Your music more than me. What's wrong with you?
There's a moth flying around our heads, by the way.
Oh, the man cave is.
We'll CGI that out later.
Well, see, people don't realize at home the man cave is not that far from the elements because it's a cave.
Right.
So there's a few drafty holes in it.
You put the cave in man cave. Absolutely. Yeah.
So there's a good few drafts and things in here. It's not exactly a complete oasis, but we like it. All right. So
today we're talking about.
Okay, for segueing from politics into we're mostly about movies and football and music. That's kind of our three staples of the show. Every once in a while we'll go on something else, but that's pretty much the main three things, right?
Right.
Okay. But there's one issue involving movies that is somewhat political.
Okay.
And that is the Oscar nominations. The Oscar nominating process can be very political. And sometimes the winner and who wins is motivated by Hollywood politics and Hollywood campaigning and things like that.
Sure.
And sometimes, because of this, the winner of the Oscar is not so much the true best movie actor, so on and so forth, but the one who campaigned the best and practiced the best politics. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about instances where the wrong movie or actor, director, what have you, won, and the other nominee should have won, was robbed.
Okay.
So people who were robbed of Oscars and movies, performances, etc., that should have been nominated but weren't nominated at all. Not even nominated, let alone won. So we're going to go. We won't go that far. We'll kind of break it down where it's not like we'll go on for like an hour, because this is one of the things I know you and I can talk about for like an hour. We'll break it down to smaller bite-sized topics, but I know, and we'll just start here.
Okay.
In 1977, I know we agree on this one. What movie should have won Best Picture in 1977? For the movie year of 1977?
Of course, that should have been Star Wars.
Okay, what won in its place?
It would be Annie Hall directed by Woody Allen.
Woody Allen. So,
yeah.
Would you call this a instance where the wrong movie won?
I think that's a classic example of where the wrong movie won.
Right.
Now, Annie Hall, a lot of these movies that we're going to talk about today, I know some of these are actually going to be good movies.
Okay.
So it's not so much a slam.
Not that you hate that movie.
It's not that we hate that movie or that movie in all these instances. It's not necessarily that they were even bad movies. They were most of them are going to be good. It's just that a clearly superior film or performance was overlooked or snubbed.
Right. And you and I have always felt that Annie Hall beating out Star Wars was like the biggest cardinal. This is the biggest sin of the Academy of all time. To you and I know that's always been the pinnacle. At least the past is. I still feel that way.
Yeah, it's still the big, what were you thinking, Hollywood moment. Because, and Woody Allen has gone on and made many films since then that are just as wonderful. Some I frankly like better. I liked Midnight in Paris much better than Annie Hall. Right. And I don't mean any diss towards it. It's a good movie. But you're talking about kind of good movie versus, cinematic masterpiece or cinematic excellence, if you will, for Star Wars. It's just no comparison, I think.
Personally, I liked What's Up, Tiger Lily, but I digress. Anyway, so we'll start with there. So for our discussion, we're going to go 1979 or 1977 and forward.
Sure.
Okay. So what is, and we'll just assume and get Star Wars versus Annie Hall right off the bat. So that aside, what is your most egregious Best Picture winner that won over a movie that was also nominated? The most egregious one, like
post 1977.
Post 1977, and not counting Star Wars Annie Hall.
It would
be the one is like God no.
It would well, it has to be. And again, Kramer versus Kramer is a good movie.
Sure,
that's 1979. But to not say Apocalypse Now for 1979 is the best movie is to me
egregious.
It's just a real big mistake.
Yeah, I totally agree because you and I both joke that there's movies. It's kind of on our vernaculars when we're telling each other how we have a movie that we like or don't like.
Our shorthand,
our shorthand, and we'll say it should have been a TV movie. And I know when you tell me that, I know exactly what you mean by that.
Right.
It should have been a TV movie. And I've always felt like Kramer versus Kramer. Yeah, it's a decent movie, but it should have been a TV movie.
Right.
Like, it wasn't worth the majesty of going to the theater and experiencing this movie to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So the idea that this TV movie beat out Apocalypse Now, to me, is, like, so ludicrous and ridiculous. Because you got, like, helicopters attacking villages and the Wagner, and you got like this epic ending with Marlon Brando and slaughtering the cow and everything else. This big epic movie,
right?
And they give it to like the kid eating ice cream at the table, you know. And Meryl Streep can't make up her mind what she wants to do with a kid
and Dustin Hoffman teaching the boy how to ride a bicycle.
So, like, they could have literally, Kramer versus Kramer today would be like a Lifetime movie.
Well, that movie was directed by Robert Benton. It's not even his best movie. That would be Places in the Heart, 1984.
That's right. He did make that.
So it's like, it wasn't even his best work, but that one, the lesser work, got the Oscar. And it was just we say that a lot, you know, hey, this was just kind of a TV movie.
Yeah.
The idea, this was what, if you will, the Star Wars revolution, is what it brought to cinema. Because if it's something that you really can see on television,
right,
then why go to the theaters?
Sure.
It's not to say that dramas don't have a place in the cinema,
right,
in the theaters, but you know, you're used to the ideas now being bigger because you can do it. Right. You know, it should be bigger ideas, and the more ambitious projects should get more of our attention than something that was just a simple drama that could have been a stage play.
Right. Yeah. I think the best example of a movie that a drama that does work on the big screen, as opposed to a TV. I think courtroom. I'm not a big fan of courtroom movies, but they always work better on a big screen, to me. You know what I mean? We saw Presumed Innocent whenever they came out. That movie worked on the big screen.
Sure.
With the big wooden, courtroom and, what's his name? Raul Julia, what's his name? Talking to the jury and all that just sort of worked. Courtroom movies kind of work as a drama on the big screen. You feel the weight of the courtroom a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But Kramer vs. Kramer, Ordinary People. That's a TV movie.
Yeah, and that's another one. That's 1980.
That beat out Raging Bull. And
that same year, Raging Bull was nominated, but The Shining wasn't nominated. Neither was Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, but not the Mighty of the Water. Your most egregious post 77 Best Picture winner over a nominee was Kramer vs. Kramer beating out Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, that's the
all right.
one.
Well, and I agree with you. And probably, if you hadn't said that was your most egregious, I would have said it was most egregious.
Okay,
but just to be different, I will go ahead and follow up with that next year. And I just mentioned it That'd be Ordinary People beating out Raging Bull. Raging Bull quickly became a landmark film. And in fact, at one point, it was considered in the top 10 movies of all time by the Sight and Sound poll.
Yeah.
That the quintessential poll, by the way, for filmmaking and like what is the best movie according to critics and filmmakers is the Sight and Sound poll that's done by this English magazine called Sight and Sound.
Yeah.
And I think they do it every 10 years. It's not every year. They'll do this every so often. And
it's the next one will be in 2022, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and every year, every time they do it, Raging Bull was like the newest movie to ever go up that fast ever when they did the next poll, like in the 90s or whatever it was. And it was universally recognized as the best movie of the 80s. It's a beautiful film, a lyrical film. And Ordinary People is, again, a TV movie.
Yeah.
It just, Raging Bull had this beautiful black and white photography, a totally, transforming performance by De Niro. This the direction and the ring was just it was visceral and exciting, and the movie was heartbreaking. The color montage home movie of the wedding sequence, where they do the 8mm film in color.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking, just rips your heart out of your chest. And Ordinary People is just these. I'm saying it's just these rich white people, who had a tragic. Their kid dies in a boating accident. That's horrible. I mean, having a kid die is horrible. I mean, that's like my biggest fear as a parent. All parents.
Yeah.
But you got these really rich New England white people complaining about life and being miserable, and you're like, this is a freaking Lifetime movie. This doesn't even make it on USA Network today. This is like Lifetime. That alternate, you have Lifetime has an alternative channel, whatever it's called. You have Lifetime, then you have Lifetime Junior or whatever it's called. This would be on that one now. You know what I'm talking about? It's like Junior Miss Lifetime, whatever it's called. It'd be on that channel now,
right? If
they made that movie today.
Lifetime Junior, I like that one.
Lifetime Junior, they have Nickelodeon Junior, so I figure they have to have Lifetime Junior.
Ordinary People, once again, it's a good movie, but
decent.
We're talking about, a fair, good movie compared to something that was just totally a masterpiece. Right. And certainly, I think from 1985 to really 2000, Raging Bull was on a lot of lists for best film of the 80s, but in the discussion of top 10 films of all time, I think one of the things is, with Scorsese, when you make as many films as he has, it becomes where everyone starts splitting their vote. Yeah. So I think that's the only reason why it's kind of gone down, because people are like, well, I like Taxi Driver or I like Goodfellas.
Sure.
So I think that's what's going on. I don't think that film has really diminished in people's eyes.
No.
It's just Scorsese's just made a lot of great movies.
And one thing I want to be very clear on when we talk about this subject is, we're not saying that the Best Picture has to be an epic movie. We're not saying that, because there have been some epic movies that just are dog crap. I mean,
that's a very good point.
If you go way back when and look at the earlier pre-77 Oscars, like in the 50s, they would often give the Oscars to these epic movies that were horrible. Like Greatest Show on Earth.
Yeah.
It was a horrible freaking movie.
Yeah.
God, is it bad. And it won Best Picture. And you watch it now, and you're like, how does this win anything? How did anybody even watch this? It's so bad.
Yeah, it beat out Singing in the Rain and The Quiet Man.
That's crazy. That's insane.
I'd watch either of those other two any day of the week over The Greatest Show on Earth.
So we're not saying the Best Picture nominee has to be epic and big.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that Apocalypse Now was a freaking awesome movie, and it was very visceral, and that was just so much more of a movie than Kramer versus Kramer, even emotionally. Yeah. I think well, it was more emotionally. No, freaking, if you don't take an emotional roller coaster, Apocalypse Now, then you're dead inside. Then you have no soul.
Yeah.
Raging Bull didn't have the emotional pull of Ordinary People. If you didn't get emotional out of Raging Bull, then you again have no soul. The movie runs deep.
Yeah, it's about a complex character, so if that's not for you, then maybe that movie won't work for you. But I think films where it is more complex should get a more praise than something that played it safe, if you will.
Right.
And ordinary people try to deal with the aftermath of the death and how the family members dealt with that death. So that's kind of meaty subject matter, but the way it was handled was in such a it was more small ball, whereas Raging Bull was shooting for the bleachers, to borrow a Gene Siskel.
Yeah, it was just a visceral movie.
To borrow from him, yeah.
It's a very it's energetic and excitingly told, and it's a freaking movie. It's a movie. Ordinary People. I mean, then again, nobody even remembers Ordinary People. And see, and if you don't believe us, go look at the test of time. How often do people talk about Apocalypse Now? How often do they talk about Kramer vs. Kramer? How often do they talk about Raging Bull? How often do they talk about Ordinary People? I think Star Wars, Annie Hall.
Yeah.
So I think time agrees with us, not the Academy. Final thoughts? Give you the last word.
And definitely Raiders of the Lost Ark is much better than Chariots of Fire.
We have like a whole honorable mentions. We'll do the next show. Will be nothing but honorable mentions.
That'll be my last thing.
All right, last word. So with that, adieu.